this example really does show that like the really uber progressive left, yes, they operate and have an advantage by way of perceived legitimacy, and that's because they infiltrated certain businesses and things that we all knew and loved that, of course, never started the way that they are now. But what this whole Elon Musk and Twitter situation, what it really shows, and or rather the topic that we're going to cover here, it really highlights how you can avoid that. Remember, we did a segment just a couple of days ago talking about these idiots and why y'all keep hiring these obnoxious activists who, which that's a mistake, but it keeps being done because it's like, well, they have infiltrated now. So now the people that are in hiring positions, or at least influential positions that can influence the hiring practices, are deranged leftists who care so much about protecting their own, I guess, social justice and whatever political ideology that they have. But number one, I never thought this was necessary in the first place. But what we're going to see in this article that we're going to cover is how when there's a shakeup, you have people that are still interested. So you don't have to depend on the manpower of these deranged leftists. Like we see right here, job interest in Twitter skyrocketed more than, I'm covering this from Fortune, of course, more than 250% since Elon moved to take over, but current employees are nervous. So what you have is a big increase in influx of people that are interested in working for this company. And then on the other hand, you have a bunch of people, and there's something that really echoes this sentiment. But you have the other folks that are on the other side are fucking nervous, right? They're nervous as fuck. They don't. We know why. We've already covered why the current employees are nervous as fuck. And just for transparency's sake, I was meaning to find this. You can see Elon Musk here. He reposted this article himself, and he said if Twitter acquisition completes, company will be super focused on hardcore software engineering, design, infosec, and server hardware. So this is I know it's going to speak to like a lot of the algorithmic stuff and the technological stuff, which of course obviously makes sense considering who he is, that's going to be more interesting to him than some of the other stuff, which I think Twitter is really, for the people that are in control of it now, the big interest, the only interest that they really have in it, the primary thing is being able to moderate the current conversation in the world because they have one of the major social media platforms. But going back to this here, as documented by Fortune, Elon Musk, blah, blah, blah. He said he would take over temporary CEO once the I didn't report on that, by the way. I forgot to. But yes, he's saying that he'll be the goddamn CEO once the deal is complete, at least initially. While countless Musk fans and a slight majority of Americans, 59% approve of the takeover, the recent data from the Harris poll, some current Twitter staff worry that it will dramatically change the company's culture and overall direction. No shit. That was the whole point of why he bought it. Now, I do think there's a little dramatic, stuff with it. I don't think it's going to be like completely unmoderated like some people think. It may move in the other direction that it's been moving, or the opposite direction that it had been moving previously under previous, let's say, ownership or control. But it won't be completely unmoderated. I don't think Musk is even interested in that. He says it's still unclear how Musk will run Twitter, might impact the company's ability to retain current staff and recruit new employees. The company presented the takeover as a potential threat to its staffing abilities in an SEC filing. But at least casual interest in open positions at the company has skyrocketed since the Tesla billionaire showed serious interest in taking over the company. On Thursday, a senior economist and data scientist at the job insights platform Glassdoor tweeted that interest in job openings at the social media giant was up 263% between the days, between basically April 24th and April 30th. In a statement, he clarified that interest is defined by the average daily clicks on the Twitter job postings, on the platform compared to the average daily job clicks in March of 2022. Baseline prior to the news breaking of Musk's plans for the company. Though clicks do not necessarily correlate to actual job applications submitted, obviously, and likely reflect current media attention, and increase shows that people appear to be interested, not just in the media story, but in the work available for the company. Say what you will about Elon, he does have a large fan base of people excited to work for him. He's much more likely to capitalize on the attraction as CEO than owner, which is true. And obviously this was the comment that I read. I know that these people like to pretend like they're the ones that have the big following and the big, but you got to understand, the left operates what I say all the time: perceived legitimacy. That's the only thing it is that they have. So they require the interest of the people that they hate in order for really their positions to be legitimized. So what this showed is that, and this isn't for me saying that Elon's on the complete opposite side of these guys, no, but on a very big subject, a primary subject, he is, at least in appearance, which is all that matters, because they see him as a certain person. And that's on the subject of speech and communication, rather, on social media platforms. This was his interest, certainly, in this. And that's going to be reflected, as you're going to see right here in this story. People are going to be more interested in it because they're like, okay, well, this is my opportunity to get involved with something. Don't shortchange the passion that people have in even from an ideological standpoint in this, much like the left already has. But this shift shows that, hey, guys, you're not as representing a predominant part of the population like you like to think. Like you're able to present yourself, like you have been able to present yourself. That's not necessarily representative of the reality. The minute someone with money comes on and enters into this marketplace that you have utterly dominated, you see interest even more so increase than what initially it was. I think this also is reflective of, for example, I'm not trying to fucking compare myself to Elon Musk, but well, I guess technically I am, but I ain't got nearly as fucking. We're both African American, to be fair. So never mind what I said. I guess we can compare ourselves, since all African Americans, according to the social justice left, think alike anyway. So I can relate to my brother Elon Musk. Like with my comic book company, we have so many people that are very, very, very interested in what it is that we're going to do. Right? I saw this also with my band. Okay. And with the band, we entered into a space that was dominated by leftists, but we saw such a significant influx of supporters because we weren't deranged leftists, but we were entering in a space that was dominated by them. I think we're seeing this we're going to see this with our comic book company. You see this with a lot of these kind of independent guys that have been in a circuit as well, where you see people that they're interested. They're very interested in this like subculture. Let's call it that. And yeah, it's like, well, oh, now I can like give money or assist or help people, invest in people that don't fucking hate me, or at least agree with me in a certain position that I find near and dear to my heart. So if nothing else, if you don't take any shit else from this, I think you should take that. Look, there's a lot of money to be made, man. There's a lot of money to be made and a lot of investments to be made. And I don't mean just financial investments. I'm talking in the form of interest and form of even employees. There's a lot of talented people out here that work for piece of shit companies that are looking for a reason to leave those piece of shit companies. Though they like what they do, they know they work for some people that suck. So when we talk about the parallel economy, and I know that initial risk can be scary. It's fucking, I told y'all how much money I done spent on this project that I'm coming out with. It's going to pay off because the minute folks know it exists, you're going to get such an influx of just overall interested people. And that's how we beat these suckers, man. That's how we beat them. You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.